All right, what's up guys? Welcome. This is Leroy from Pertab Prestige. Today we're going to be breaking down and diagnosing his business. Been working together for like 3-4 months. When you started working with me, you were doing like 5, 6, 7,000 a month?
Yeah,
like you were
not being able to break through that 10 grand a month really.
Yeah.
I was pushing 10 grand a month and I couldn't just get past it.
Yeah.
And so I turned to Aaron for some help. I saw us posting on Instagram and Facebook and I thought, oh, why not give it a go, give him a call. He actually called me for the first time and we got to talking and I was a little bit skeptical, but I decided to just take the risk. I thought it was worth it. I may as well, like I'm gonna end up spending the amount of money on the course that I would spend on ads. So I just took the risk and it ended up being very good.
Yeah, what, like 2 months after we started working together, or not even, like 1 month after you had your record month, you did 30,000 in a single month. Like, yeah, like people that are stuck under 5K a month, stuck under 10K a month, this video is gonna be helpful for you. We're gonna break down his business. I'm gonna show you exactly what he did right, what needs improving. We'll go through what I call the 5-gear growth system and essentially just lay it out on the table and see where we can improve and take your business from where it is now to becoming more efficient. Right, and potentially getting to 50,000 a month.
50, 60,000 a month is the goal.
Yeah, and guys, you live in a small area. Like this is a rural location.
Not a big population, yeah. So you can make it work anyways.
Yeah. The key thing that I've noticed with you is that your average order value is huge. It's like over $1,000. Most of the guys that I'm working with, they start at average order values of around $100, $200, right? So you're just scraping the barrel, chasing these, bargain hunter. The thing is, doing a $200 job, right, might take you 2 hours. Doing a $1,000 job might take you 6 hours. So the profit margins just don't add up. So let's get into it, okay? So gear number 1 is lead generation, okay? So give me a bit of an idea on where all your leads are coming from at the moment. Just actually, before we get into it, I want you to just give me a full overview of what happens from when someone inquires, where they inquire from. Just to explain what happens.
Yeah, so pretty much when we started running the ads, I'd get a couple from Facebook and it'd start slow. And as soon as I got them in, I'd chase those leads straight away. So I'd go and look at them, I'd evaluate what the car is, what they've added, whatever details, and I'd do a little bit of a background check on the car before I called them, just so I have a bit of information to go back to the customer or the potential client and have some facts, I guess. And then I'd give them a call and hopefully they're not busy and I'll run them through pretty much what they've asked about, and I'd always go ceramic coating or protection because I value that a lot and I know they will too. And so I've just always seen it as always give the client value rather than, oh, it's this much money, that's this much money. No, it's give the client value, look at what is going to be a right fit for them and propose that to them. And usually that works pretty well. And after that, usually they'll either say yes or no. If they say yes, then we get them booked in as soon as they want. And if they say no, then I just put them through a system, go high level, like you've set up for me. And we'll put them through that system. We'll follow up with them consistently, not being too pushy, just pushy enough so that they've got me in the back of their mind.
Okay, let's just go back to December before we started working together. Okay, you already were using a booking system, which was amazing. Where were most of the customers coming from? What was the main source of where you were getting all of your leads from at that point?
Pretty much it was just word of mouth. I'd post a lot on the notice board here. I got a lot of traction from that. I had a couple of clients that posted me on their page that were known quite well in Matamata. So we had a lot of clients come from that.
Were you focusing on ceramic coatings?
Not really. I was kind of just focusing on getting the job, just trying to get heaps of work, and I was overdoing it a bit and I wasn't making enough money to be able to sustain it. And so that's why I came to you, because I had no other option really in my mind.
And then ceramic coatings became the focus, right? You sort of started upselling more, offering more. Now, when it comes to where you're at right now, where are all of the leads coming from now? Is it a mix of?
It's a mix. So pretty much majority are coming from the meta ads, and you still have the odd few coming through from people knowing you and people knowing the business now, especially because of the ads. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, you're the person that does the ads. And that's just kept it in the back of their mind, even though they haven't clicked straight from the ad.
The thing that I see is that people get caught up on the costs of running ads, and it's really hard to actually attribute, you know, every single job. And therefore, you know, there's a sort of like ecosystem. Someone sees your ad, right? And then they might not become a customer straight away. And then they might see your organic post, right? Or maybe they search for you online and they see your Google business profile.
It's just the content exposure, really. Constant exposure. It's in every day. So you have, you know, you drive past McDonald's every day. You're not just going to skip that when you're hungry and you want a quick feed. That's right there. And you're seeing it every day. You're seeing it everywhere.
Exactly.
And it's not the fact that you've just seen an ad and you've gone there. So I think that's a big key factor, is just the constant exposure of being able to see your ads, see someone talking about you to them, and then they see your ad, they see your organic posts, it looks professional, it looks nice, and they commit to it.
Sweet. So I would say that you've got lead generation sort of down pat at the moment. Like the way to scale from there to bring in more leads is just scaling up the ads, right? That makes sense, potentially running Google ads. Tell me about your Google business profile. What does that look like at the moment?
Oh, it's pretty basic. I just have the reviews. I'm constantly putting new photos up and just keeping it fresh. Other than that, really, it's just got a bit of information.
Are you getting inquiries through Google business profile?
I think it's very low at the moment, but I have been getting a few through there.
And what about your website? Have you got a website?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. So that's another asset that you could start to utilize. The thing is, and this is what most people, especially when they're starting out, they get wrong, is like, oh, I need to get a website to get my business going. It's like, well, a website's only bringing you in people that are actively searching. Number one, you create a website, it's going to be on page 200 for like 3 or 4 months until it actually starts to get ranking, right? And then people actually have to be looking for that particular service. So what you've done is you've built a reputation, number one. You've utilized word of mouth. You've been out there in the community. You've set up at events and stuff. I've seen you set up at events. So you've got exposure by being in the community, which is like the best thing to do when you get started, to build that trust with your community. And then number two, you started running social media marketing. You've been posting on Instagram. You know, if we rock, we'll pull up your Instagram profile later and do a bit of an audit. But, you know, from face value, it's set up correctly right now so that it builds trust as soon as someone lands on your profile. So if someone sees your ad, and like we said, they might not take action straight away, they might come back to your profile. And then if they see some testimonials or some reviews, some recent work that you've done, instant trust is built. Okay, so lead generation for you is not an issue right now that I'm seeing. We could set up a website, we could get more Google reviews, start running Google ads, and bring in more leads that way, right? And then scale up meta ads as well. And that's lead generation is sorted for you. So lead generation, right? The first gear, I call it like attract, right? That's the first part of running a business. We need to actually bring in awareness, bring in people that are interested so that we can then turn them into customers. The second is lead nurture, right? So once we get people interested in the business, we then need to actually build trust with them, right? Build a relationship.
Take them along, keep it in the back of their mind.
Make sure that they know that we are the detailer that they can trust, and with their $50,000 asset, $60,000 vehicle, you know.
And I think it's just the first exposure, and then you have all of the little things in between to the conversion.
Yep, exactly. So run me through what you're doing at the moment. Let's say someone submits a form or they inquire, right? Obviously, if they call you up, it's pretty easy. That's how you build trust with them over the phone. You connect with them, right? What happens if someone inquires through a meta ad, or they send you a DM on Instagram, or they come through Google Business Profile, they send you an email or something like that? What typically happens there?
I usually would have a look into it, see where they've messaged me from. So if it's from an Instagram DM, I usually know that they've seen my profile, so they already have that first exposure, and then I would call them. If they live in the area and they've filled out a meta ad form, I'll actually go and see them if I can. Okay. So if I have the time, I'll go and see them, because I like to see the person face to face. It builds a relationship. that is the main goal, is to be able to go and see them. Obviously, when you don't have the time, the next best option is to call them and get your voice across to them and be able to speak.
Yep, 100%. The thing with in-person consultations is it's not practical for hundreds of leads every single month, right? But when your focus is ceramic coatings, you live in a smaller area, right? You're targeting a smaller area, and someone inquires about a $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 job, right? It's going to be in your best interest to go and do an in-person consultation. Show face, build trust, do a handshake, and then point out what's actually needed, and then recommend the
Exactly. You get to see the car in person, so you can actually give them a precise quote on what they want done or what they need done. And sometimes people have no idea what they need done, but when you get to go and see the car yourself and give them an idea of what it's going to cost and what it's going to look like, then that also builds trust.
What about when, let's say, someone inquires, right, and there's no answer, or they need to think about it, or there's just no reply straight away?
Usually when most of my clients or potential clients that have said they need to think about it, usually means that they're going to wait a couple months before they decide to do anything at all. But I'll put them through the system again, go high level, and I'll just keep following up with them. I'll like to give them the initial call. If they say, let me think about it, or let me talk to my husband or wife, I'll put them into the system and I will give them another call. And that just is another thing where if they either answer, they don't. But if they answer, you get to speak your words rather than messaging them. And
that's what you want.
Different messages that they can go.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. The goal is to get them on the highest converting strategy. Okay, so there's multiple, levels of conversion, right? And the highest is in person, right? Definitely. Highest level of conversion. You are way more likely to book someone in if you're with them in person. That's not always an option, right? So the second best way is over the phone. So you get them over the phone, you're way more likely to book them in if you just go back and forth in the DMs, right? Or if you're just sending them an email, which is super slow.
Even if it's a big client, I will spend extra time if I know that they're going to be a very big potential client that is going to be a lot of work. I'll definitely try and book a meeting with them, go in and see them, like a fleet client or a contractor or someone that has a lot of vehicles. It's always good to go and actually sit down with them, be very professional and show them what you can do.
100%.
Talk to them and have a bit of time. I know a lot of people can't do that within their business coming to me, but if it can work, it can work.
Yeah, exactly. Going above and beyond. The thing that's unique about a home service business like a car detailing business is that we're actually sort of going into people's personal space, working on their personal, private investment. Some people would call a car their investment, their asset, their pride, their joy. And it's like this, the psychological barrier that people have when they want to hire someone to do the right job. So more trust needs to be built, which is important to know. You need to build trust with your customers to stand out in front of your competitors, right? People aren't going to choose you because you do a better job. They're going to choose you because you provide a better experience and just ultimately the customer just enjoys you better than the other other detailer, right?
You sometimes it's just the fact that they like you as a human, and you have your business, but there's also 100 other businesses that they could go to if they wanted to that all look amazing and equally as good, but it's just knowing the person behind the business just makes such a difference.
Totally. Cool. All right, so that's lead nurture. The thing I want to touch on is if someone doesn't book in, right, we need to keep following up with them, right? We need to keep being persistent. And sometimes it needs to take 8, 9, 10 different occasions of you calling them or messaging them to get on top. Like if you just stop at 1 or 2 follow-ups, that's a lost opportunity.
Usually when you need to follow up with a client, I don't usually like to just be messaging, phoning. I like to, if they've put in a lead form, I already know what car they have. I don't know where they are. I have their information. I'll write them up a quote, personalised. I'll put a message in it. I'll email it to them, call them, and then I'll say, hey, do you want to just jump onto Gmail, have a look at the quote that I've just sent you. We can go through it. I can explain it to you. That way they get to see the quote and they're not just saying,
and you're on the phone with them.
That's $1,500. Rather, they can see the value side of it.
Another thing I would suggest implementing, if you don't do this already, and this is going to be valuable to everyone, is sending them over a quick video of a job that you're working on, right?
Definitely.
Which is like even higher trust building than a text. It's like, hey, John, we're just working on this car here. It's a similar job to what you inquired about. We just did a really nice ceramic coating on this. It's come up beautiful. Look at the hydrophobic paint, or
Well, I know someone else is getting it.
It's just
that, like, oh, I'm missing out.
Exactly.
Missing out factor.
Exactly.
Plus, they get to see how good it looks. I mean,
and it's not you just sending a message saying, just checking in. The worst thing you can do is send a follow-up message and say, hey, just checking in. You still interested? You still keen? Because people know that that's just a sales tactic, right?
Everyone does.
Just send them some proof. Yo, hey John, check out this car. I know it's similar job to what you inquired about. Just sending you this over. If you're still interested, I got Friday free next week. Let's get it locked in.
Like, I've had a car come in and we've done a full ceramic coating job on it, interior and exterior. The leather was cracking and it was white leather, and so we've done a leather ceramic coating just to kind of stop that and make it look really nice. And then the following week I had another person come to me with the same vehicle. I sent them a photo of the leather cracking in the other vehicle. I said, this is what will happen if you do not look after it, and we can do that for you. Leather ceramic coating. Sent them the photo.
Into the pain points.
And instantly they were like, I've had a lot of people come back to me on the price of that leather ceramic coating, but it is so worth it. And the customer saw the value in that, so they went with it straight away. And it took 2 seconds to message them and send them a photo.
Okay, let's talk about conversion, right? And this is sometimes the hardest one for car detailers, which is actually talking with them over the phone or actually using sales strategy to book them in. What you say is so important. The language you use is so important. It can determine whether they actually use you or not, right? So at the moment, like, what are you running a script? Are you going off anything? Is there any sort of strategy you use for when you actually do speak to the customer?
To be honest, I've always been very good at talking to people, and I'm a really good person to talk to. So I don't really run a script because that usually stuffs me up. And it'll make me stutter and it'll make me sound like I'm reading a script. So I like to, if they've sent me in a lead form, I'll write their car down, I'll write what they want down, and I'll write what I want them to get and what I think they should get. And then I'll go to them, I'll call them, I'll have a laugh, I'll just talk to them about their general day if I can, not too intruding, but enough. Then that gets them to loosen up a little bit. And then you just talk about, like, oh, I heard you wanted to get this done. We can offer this. This is really good. It's up to you. What would you like to get? Like,
okay, there could be some improvements there. Now, I like how you want to run authentically, right? Which is 100% I agree. Don't read off a script and be robotic. That's the worst thing. Customers can smell that a mile away. So you want to be authentic, but having a framework is really important to go off as well. So there's certain questions that you should be asking before other questions, right? To sort of feed them into this mindset of they need to get this now, okay? So we can quickly break that down, but rather than saying it's up to you what you want, right? We are the experts. We're the like the analogy I like to use is,
I kind of mess it up a little bit. That's not usually what I say. It's more the fact of letting them think to start with, whatever they, sent the form in for. And then being able to give them the professional advice and the professional what they want, what they need.
I see what you mean. So you're asking the right questions to see what they actually need, and then you recommend the service.
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, a lot of people just think, oh, cut, polish, that's all I need. Because it's just in their head that that's what you get when your car's looking dull, it's looking faded. But when you can say, look, it probably doesn't even need a cut. It needs a polish and a ceramic coating, and it's going to look phenomenal. Then they actually realize, look, what's the extra $600-700 to get the coating and have that for 8 years or 3 years? It's that's the value in it as well. It's just having it for such a long time. Rather than just a cut, polish and wax, and you're going to have to come back in 6 months and get it.
Amazing. Okay, amazing. So you do follow a bit of a framework. Someone inquires about, like you said, let's say a cut and polish, and then you try and diagnose what the problem is that they have. Okay. Oh, cool. So you got some slight swirling, marring, bird droppings, like anything about the paint that you've noticed, dull, water stains. Figure it out, right? Okay, cool. Have you ever had a paint correction or a ceramic coating before, right? Asking whether they've used a detailer before is really important as well, because
do they know how it works?
Do they know how the process works? Do you have to just educate them on the process, or are they familiar with it? Because if you over explain, sometimes it can also be detrimental.
That turns them off a little bit. It turns them away from it. I think like you said, over explaining it does. It just makes them go, okay, well.
The focus is, and this is something that is really important to remember for anyone watching, and we are selling the outcome, right? We're not selling what's included in the service. We're not selling the features. We're not selling the ceramic coating.
Yeah.
We're selling what it does, the benefits of that.
You know,
exactly.
The
So all too often I see detailers that, try to sell a shampoo as like an upsell. It's like, well, that's just a tool that you use to get the desired outcome.
Yeah, I've never personally done that. I think it's always been, you want a clean interior, I'll do everything I can to get it clean. This is the price.
Exactly.
And it's because you might need to do more to get it perfect. You can't just say, oh, shampoo's going to get you fixed right up. Like, the carpets might be terrible and they might need to be, you might need new carpets. And you set the expectation that, oh, I'm going to get it perfect if you just get the shampoo as well. Then you don't get it perfect and they come back to you.
That's right. And you just hit something really important, is setting the expectation and making sure that you have a bit of an idea on what the customer's expectation is, so that you can meet it and then ideally go a little bit beyond.
I always like to go a little bit above and beyond. I think setting the expectation is a big thing. I usually like to say that I always aim for perfection, but that is just impossible to get perfection.
No, you can't get perfection. We're aiming for 80%.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
so, okay, we can move into like delivery and actually doing the detailing job and the experience in a minute. I want to just break down this sales strategy, right? So we're figuring out what their problem is, number one, right? Do they have a problem worth solving? Okay. And then from there, we ask the right questions. Okay, well, based on everything you've explained, you've just told me, what I would recommend is our XYZ service. And the benefit of that is XYZ. So for example, what I recommend is our ultimate ceramic coating paint enhancement service. And that's going to get your car looking, beautiful, like it came out of the showroom floor. The gloss is going to come out. We'll remove majority of the swirls and scratches, but more importantly, we're going to add a protection to the paintwork ceramic coating that's going to last 8 years, and it's going to make maintenance a breeze. Your car's going to look beautiful for the years to come. You don't have to worry about going through the car wash every Sunday now.
I think a lot of detailers aim always to give the service that is going to be mint, so everything's going to come up absolutely perfect. I like to usually just find the expectation of the customer and give them an idea of what it's going to look like. And if they want to bump it up and they don't want scratches and swirls, because a lot of clients actually don't know what swirls are. They're like, what is that? And they have to actually have a look for it, even water spots sometimes. But setting that expectation and being able to show them, look, we can do this, but there'll be a lot of people that go, I want all the swirls gone, I want it to be mint, step it up to a cut and polish and ceramic coating.
Amazing. Let's talk about upsells from here as well, because this is also included in the conversion strategy, right? We need to be upselling and increasing our average order value, right? So you've just found out that the customer is interested in the ultimate ceramic coating, paint enhancement service, whatever you offer, right? And then you ask them, is this date good? We've got Friday free next week. Now, before we even reveal the price on the service, I recommend finding out the day that they're looking to get this done, how soon they want to get this done. And that avoids, what we're doing there is we're handling objections before we reveal the price.
Exactly, you're not giving them a chance to object really. You're just giving them, give me a date that you want to get it done, and then you can give them the bad.
Yeah, because what happens is you reveal the price to a customer, right? You say, oh, that's going to be $1,000, and they say, oh, I need to check my schedule. I don't, I'm going to be busy.
Well,
it's a fallback. It's a fallback, right? So you pre-handle objections early in the conversation, and then you reveal the price by saying, okay, cool. So for everything we just talked about, the ultimate ceramic coating paint enhancement service is valued at $1,000 for your vehicle. And then you just stay silent, right? And that silence is the critical part, right? Gets them thinking, oh, is this okay? Yeah, let's lock it in, right? From there, they've agreed to the price, right? Now you've got an option to upsell them, okay, there and then, or maybe just an additional service like could be an interior. Hey, okay, well, what's up with the interior? Why don't we just lock that in with the service as well? It's only an extra $190, and we'll do the interior for you as well.
$190 to $1,000. So now it's nothing really to
think it. So that's the first place where you can start upselling is straight after you've revealed the price and they've accepted, they've locked it in. right? The second is when you're with them on the day in person. And that's the best place to upsell. But as long as you can fit the upsell in with your day, right? If you've got back-to-back schedule, like back-to-back jobs on a schedule, it can be hard. So you want to think about upsells that are quick to implement, but also add a lot of profit to your business, right? And this increases your average order value. Now, I'm happy with your average order value. It's amazing. It's like one of the best in the academy at the moment, over $1,000 per service, right? Which is beautiful. Most guys are sitting at $200 average order value. It's hard to run a business like that. But there's still ways to improve, right? You can still improve. You can still.
I mean, that's the thing, you know. That's the reason I joined the academy. Is I've never been a big fan of saying, "Oh, look, I've learned all I can. Like, I'm a pro." Everyone can learn. Everyone.
100%. 100%. There's always So, upselling is critical to increase your average order value. If you are sitting at a $200 average order value right now, basically to work that out is you look at your revenue over the last period, okay? So let's say 30 days, look at what your total revenue was, okay? Maybe it was $3,000, right? Divided by the amount of cars you did, okay? So maybe you did 30 cars at $3,000, that's a $100 average order value, okay? Is my math right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Which is too low. Okay.
You can't do it.
And to go from that to a $200 average order value or to a $300 or $400, all it takes is number one, increasing your prices, and number two, upsells, making sure you're upselling the right services and focusing on higher ticket services. You see, if you did 30 cars in January, right? And you made $30,000. Okay, so you did around $1,000 average order value or so, right? If you did the same amount of cars, but you had a $200 average order value, you're making cents. You know,
it's nothing. I mean,
and it's because your focus was higher ticket services. So
it definitely was. It was higher ticket services, but pairing them with upsells. So my main thing has been, you know, you can have your full details. There's 3 upsells that go with it that could be interesting. You have your ceramic coating, and there's 3 upsells that can go with it that might be interesting. Ceramic coating for the exterior, interior ceramic coating, carpet protection, leather protection, anything. I think that was the main focus for January, really, is just getting the high ticket service, locking it down, like you said. When we're on the phone, they've committed to a date. Then I'll just say, hey, how are the windows looking? Do they need to be, you know, water spots need to be removed? You know, sweet.
Add a coating, a window coating. The most profitable that I've found when running my business was interior ceramic coating.
Definitely.
Right.
I think the same.
You could sell it for $150 plus, and takes you 5-10 minutes, and it's probably $5 a product.
Exactly.
Which is, and the customer finds it super valuable. It's a 6-month protection.
It is valuable. I mean,
it is.
It's not like you're not
scamming people. No, it's a valuable service. You're see, people don't pay you for your time. People pay you, right, for your experience and your expertise.
Exactly.
Okay, they wouldn't know what product to use.
Well, they go and put something on their dashboard and it just destroys it. That's going to cost them.
Exactly. That's what they're paying for. That's what they're paying for. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's a mindset thing where it's like, well, how could I charge that much? You know,
exactly. I think
it's a limiting belief.
Stuck at that because they see it as in just the value. They don't really look at the value.
This is how I kind of thought about it and how I make it easy for people to understand. It's like, well, you're not providing these services for yourself, like, because if you think about what you would pay for as a customer, you probably wouldn't pay the prices that you're offering your services for. So you're not packaging your services for you or pricing your services for you. You're pricing them for your ideal customer.
I mean, also for your business as well.
For your business, but not for you as a customer. You're not pricing your services for you as a customer. I mean, these days I'd pay $1,000 to get my car detailed, but when I was running my detailing business, you know, out the back of my van, and I was, you know, just trying to make ends meet, and I was still pricing my services high, I wouldn't have paid the price. You know,
when I first started, I wouldn't have spent $150 to get my fully done.
Exactly, but you were charging. You're still charging a good amount, right?
Yeah, but now, look, I see the value in it myself. Like, if I wasn't a detailer, I'd get someone else to do it, and I'd pay whatever it costs. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's conversion, right? Selling and booking the customer is super important. The next is fulfillment or delivery or detailing the actual car, providing an amazing experience. Now, I don't necessarily mean the quality of the service you provide is important. Being efficient is important. So efficiency and quality And then also the experience that you actually provide for the customer. Okay, really important things. So at the moment, run me through sort of the day of the job. What happens from before you arrive to the job, and then actually what happens afterwards?
Yeah, usually I'll obviously set up the night before, get the trailer all sorted, make sure it's clean, tidy, and looks nice. Same with the ute, make sure that's all reasonably tidy. And then the morning of, wake up, message the customer. If they're coming here to the place for a ceramic coating and they don't have a shed, I'll meet them here. They'll bring their car in. I'll meet them in person if I haven't already, talk to them a little bit, just go over the vehicle, go over what we're going to do. Then they leave, or I drop them back to wherever they need to be.
So you are providing a pickup drop-off service?
Yeah, I do on the odd occasion, depending. Like if I'm super busy and I don't have the time for it, I say usually, could you organise yourself? But I do like to, especially for ceramic coatings and things, they're going to be leaving their car with me for most of the day or the whole day, overnight even.
Amazing. So you're using Urable, right, as your booking software, and that already sends out a text and message.
So it sends a reminder the day before. So it sends a reminder exactly 24 hours before. And then when it comes down to it, you can actually customize that so it sends an email the week before and then a reminder the day before.
Which is what I recommend.
And it's SMS as well, so it comes straight to their phone. And then if I'm going mobile to a job, I can actually just push a button and it says I'm on my way, and I'll tell them how far away they are. So that's really good too.
That's unique, and that's what Uber did, right? So Uber did this thing where before they didn't have the tracking on, but they got all these complaints like, how far away is my food? Like, they were, or how far away is my car? Uber Eats is the same. How far away is my car? How far away is my food? And they enabled it so that you could view the actual driver on the map, right? And it prevented complaints coming through because now people could actually see how far away it was, right?
I think it's the security as well. A lot of it stops people guessing. It's like, okay, so I know you're on your way. I know you're going to be here at this time, or you're running slightly early. Urable will tell them, look, it's going to be 10:59, not 11. Then they're like, sweet, you're coming. That's good.
Yeah, so you're implementing that, which is good. Something else that you could do to go above and beyond for customers, right? And I got this from a friend who runs multiple businesses, very successful. If you're doing a big job, and you're going to stop for coffee on the way, text the customer, hey, I'm just stopping for coffee.
I've done that too many times now.
What do you want? Don't even ask them if they want a coffee. Just say, I'm stopping for coffee. What would you like?
Exactly.
Right? And then they might say, oh, don't worry about it. Okay, in that case, it's sweet. Or they might say, oh, a cappuccino. Right? What's $5 to a $1,000 job that you're about to go work on?
They get something in their hand and you get there,
hey, here's your coffee. Nice to meet you. Beautiful. This is the car.
Side happy.
Yes, and that's what building rapport and building customer relationships is all about, right? Because we need to think about our customers as long-term customers, right? That are going to be with us for a long time and not just a one-time transaction. You see, most guys' mindset is like, oh, they get a job and that's it. See you later.
Like never to hear.
It's just the job mindset. Whereas like you build a relationship with your customers, you're going to work on their vehicle for as long as your business exists. And then if you go to sell your business in the future, you've got maybe 50 to 100 reoccurring customers on your database, right? That is very valuable to someone who wants to sell the business in the future, right? Plus you've got reoccurring revenue coming in. You know how much money you're going to make next month, which is alleviates so much stress when you've got bills and families to feed.
For yourself,
Exactly.
You can pay the bills, you can pay your staff.
So you're using Urable, amazing. And you're using Urable plus Go High Level as a CRM. So combining those together and you've got a powerhouse of tools to ensure that the customers and leads are managed properly. What about dealing with complaints and then the follow-up after you actually complete the job?
I feel like starting with the follow-up after the job, Urable sends a message as well. So it'll send, hey, hope you're happy with the job, and it'll, like a rough idea. Hey, hope you're happy with the job. And then it'll say, if you have any problems or anything like that, just let us know and we'll come back and fix it. And then after that, it sends them a review link.
Leave a review.
Leaves a review link about, I think it's 20 minutes after the job that I've set it at. So it's just still fresh in their mind, but they've had time to go and look at it. And in terms of complaints, I haven't had many, but there's been the odd few. Dealing with complaints for me is, I feel like that's a really big thing. So I like to be very, very professional. So I will if they say, hey, I'm not happy with this, you know, it's unacceptable or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll go back to them, I'll try and give them a call, and if they don't answer, I'll send them a nice message, not too long, not too short,
Yeah.
and I'll just explain, I'll say, hey, you know, sorry to hear that you're not happy with the job. We would love to come back and fix it. We'd really appreciate that. If you need anything else, you know, just along the lines of that.
Exactly.
I think just being very professional with complaints is a big thing because, you know, you go and ghost your complaints, that just causes
issues. And
issues,
I'll give you an
Down.
experience of another member of the academy just recently, okay? They had a range of complaints coming through because they were warranting their ceramic coating services without getting the customer on the maintenance list, right? So that's a big red flag, because what happens when a customer goes out and starts washing their own vehicle, right? They're gonna wash it incorrectly, they're gonna introduce marring, they're gonna damage the ceramic coating that you've just that they've just spent thousands of dollars on, and you can't guarantee that, right?
It's not viable. You can't.
Exactly. The only time I recommend adding a guarantee or a warranty, right, is if you get that customer on your maintenance list where you're the one looking after the vehicle, you know, every other week or every month, okay? And then you can guarantee the longevity of the coating, because you can just top it up.
Yeah, you're looking after it too. And I mean, I think that's a big thing. A lot of people don't know even how to look after their paint hazards.
Exactly.
And being able to look after the ceramic coating that you've just spent hours on. For me, it's more, look, I've made this car look absolutely perfect. Like this one here is on my maintenance plan.
Yeah.
I've done a ceramic coating on it. I've made it look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just want to look after it for my peace of mind, because I want it to stay like that for ages. But the main thing is within the business is that client knows that it's getting looked after well. The ceramic coating is always going to be there. If there's any issues with the ceramic coating, I'll fix it, and they can trust me on that. Whereas if you get other people washing it, or you get your client washing it, they don't know what they're doing. And then they destroy it, leave water spots all over it, and then the water spots etch right in. It's a really hard job to get that back to how you had it.
Yeah, exactly. So this was the issue that one of the other members of the academy had, and I said to them, hey, look, you're in this position now, okay, now you just need to own it, and you need to look after these complaints, look after these customers, right? You need to treat it like almost like a chess game, where you're thinking multiple moves ahead, because you could turn that customer from a complaint into a long-term customer, right? And sometimes, more often than not, is if you go and solve that problem again, right, solve that complaint, that customer actually ends up having more satisfaction in your business than they had no problem at all. It was just neutral.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Like they're happy with the ceramic coating job, but then when you get a complaint and you deal with it very well, and people can say, look, this person is very professional, you know, they've organized it all for me. Like even me with going to other businesses, getting something done, if I'm not happy and they deal with it very well, I'm a customer for life, really.
Yeah, exactly. We had a little conversation, okay, and they were like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just like reach out, I'm gonna go above and beyond, I'm gonna fix these issues. And one of them actually ended up getting another job in to do another ceramic coating, and another job to do a full detail on their maintenance client from there. So turned that complaint into a multi-$1,000 job, and a long-term customer, okay? So really important to note there. Cool. I think your delivery, your experience with dealing with customers is top-notch, amazing. Let's talk about maintenance, right? Getting reoccurring customers and retention, getting reviews, and then just growth of the business, right? Because this is ultimately how we scale a business, not just through paid ads, but through having multiple customers coming back again and again and again, right? So what's your process for getting customers on the maintenance plan? Do you sell it with your ceramic coating, or are you
I think
offering it after you've...
Ceramic coating is a fairly easy way to get a maintenance client, because they know, look, I've spent enough money on it, now I want to get it looked after properly. So it's very easy to propose that after you've done the job. So I like to offer if it's been a good ceramic coating job, I like to offer a free wash afterwards, and I'll come check the coating, make sure the job is absolutely perfect again, just getting that second look at it, and then after it's been washed again, get the customer out and say, hey, you know, would you like to put in a maintenance plan? It means you can warrant your coating, so it lasts as intended. It can stay looking awesome, you don't have to worry about it. I'll come and get it done.
Yeah.
You can keep doing, carry on your day how it is.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So a couple of things that you're doing there. Number one is adding value into the service. So that's your value, like a value proposition, right? It props up the value of your service by saying, hey, look, we do a free maintenance wash 1 month after we install the coating to make sure everything's, as intended, like you said, right? And then from there is where you can pitch them on the maintenance plan as well. So that's really good. One other thing is for full details, right? You're not going to offer a free maintenance wash.
I think
you still want to get them on the calendar again, right? You still want to get them booked in and become a regular customer.
And the reason that you can offer the free wash on the ceramic coating is probably going to take you 15 minutes. It's already coated. It's easy maintenance. So I can do that without cutting, budget. Whereas with full details and things like that, I think it's just proposing the idea that, especially straight after the job, their car is absolutely phenomenal, best it can be. And you can show them, look, we can keep it like that. It's going to cost less. It's going to mean that your car holds its sale value. It's going to be looking great for years to come, and just keep looking after it. And you can cancel any time. But giving them the security of they can cancel when they want to if it becomes too hard, but keeping it easy as well. So look, we can put you on a schedule. If you need to bump it somewhere, we can bump it.
If we need to reschedule.
But here's your car. It looks awesome.
And are you actively doing that at the moment? So every full detail job, you say, hey, look.
I think I fail sometimes when I get overly busy. I think following up with clients gets a little bit difficult, so I need to have a system in place for that. In terms of offering maintenance and things like that. Like if you're doing a job and then you're going to rush off to another job, it's the time. And
cool. So yeah, for sure. I mean, there's only so much you can ask your customer at the end of the job as well, right? If you're asking them to pay is one thing, you're asking them to leave a review, it's another thing. That's probably more important. Straight off the bat, get a review, and then you can propose the maintenance option after that. It's like, hey, this is how I frame it. The customer's happy with the car. Hey, you happy with everything we've done today? Look what we did here. Look what we did here. Importantly is we need to make sure that they say, yes, they're happy. Yes, it looks amazing, right? This actually minimizes complaints in the long run as well, because they've already agreed in person that it looked amazing with you. Even if, even if you did screw up somewhere, you made a mistake, it's going to just minimize the chance of them getting angry. You just get them to say, hey, that looks amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy with what you've done.
Or they can propose it to you that it doesn't look amazing, right?
And then you can fix it.
Fix it straight away.
Exactly.
You don't have to come back, waste fuel, waste your day.
Yes, exactly.
And finishing off the job that you should have finished while you were there.
100%.
And I mean, with clients that are out of house, so if I go to someone's house and they've left me with their car, I'll usually send them a photo, a couple of videos of the job, give them a message with the maintenance idea in it, and then send them the invoice. But then they'll talk to me through messages usually. They go, look, it looks amazing. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get home and have a look at it.
Okay, cool. So we've pretty much covered all 5 of the gears now. I feel like you're not really lacking too much in any. There's a few little tweaks here and there that you could definitely work on. But what are you finding right now as, I guess, the biggest or most frustrating thing about growing your business?
I think for me, time management, being able to kind of plan out my days. Like a ceramic coating still takes me a while, which it always is. But
because you're still, have you got someone working with you?
I'm still by myself.
Still single,
so I'm still.
That's crazy.
But I think
it's manageable because of the services you're offering. If you did $30,000 of full details in a month, you wouldn't be able to do that on your own.
That caps out. But I think with offering, high value, high ticket services, you can do it and you can manage it by yourself. It does get a lot.
So if you can't, for you right now, the thing is your time. You're the biggest bottleneck in your business, your time, right? So outsourcing or bringing on a team member is your next highest leverage move, right? Bringing on a new technician, getting them trained up so that you can now focus on bringing more work in, actually building better relationships with your customers, providing a better experience, and that's how you scale to 40, 50K. Like from now at 30K a month, it's going to be difficult to keep growing without bringing on more teammates.
Yeah, it definitely will be. I could do it. I think I could get to 40 to 50K by myself, but that would be every day pumping it out.
Yeah.
And you would get a
12
burnout.
hours a day.
Yeah, even 14 hours a day, you get a
yeah.
burnout. And it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
my biggest thing is just hiring someone, but it's just making that step. I think it's a little bit difficult for me because I care so much about the business that I want to keep it close to me, and then I get other people in there. That's when, ends start loosening up.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially you become the manager of the business, right? You start managing the systems, you start managing the team, right? So you can dedicate more time to ensure the quality is 100% still, right? But if you're always head down, ass up, working on the tools and don't have time to manage a team, it's going to be difficult to grow anyway. So bringing on the right team members is critical. Don't just stop at employing one person, and have SOPs in place so that they can follow them, right? Because eventually your employee will become better than you, right? I mean, one thing I learned from Alex Hormozi is that that notion of no one's going to do a better job than us because we're the business owner is not true, because humans have been replaceable for centuries, right? And we're going to be replaceable with someone else that's going to step in and be better than us and do better than us. So it's important to note that, I guess, maybe there is an employee out there that is going to be better on the tools than you. Maybe he's not going to have as much care and pride for the business, but he might have as much care and pride with the work that he's doing. If you install
installing it, eventually they will, and they might care like it's their own. And I think that's another thing, is just finding the right fit and finding the right person that is actually going to kind of be your sidekick, that you can send out, and you know that they're going to do a good job.
Yeah, for sure. All right, dude, I think we'll wrap it up there, but man, that was insane.
Yeah, it was very
awesome,
good.
bro.
Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It means a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.